life could change that fast. Yeah. Blue lights flashing in the rain, everything different, nothing the same. Backseat empty, calling their names, windows shaking, heart full of pain. People talking but I can't hear, whole world spinning in my fear. 9 years old with a broken view, didn't know what a boy should do. Sirens crying through the night, streetlights glowing red and white. Someone said it's gonna be okay, but okay felt miles away. Heaven, did you see me there? Did you hear my silent prayer? When the world went silent and my heart felt violent, you were still right there, though I was unaware. In the dark, in the cold, when I felt too small to hold, you were writing hope in the night, even when I lost the lights.
Suitcase packed in a black trash bag, new house, new rules, same old drag. They see a chick, they don't see me, just another kid on their TV. Sit at dinner, don't say much, don't get loud, don't ask for touch. Learn real fast how to disappear. If I stay quiet, I stay clear. School hallway, way head down low, fade to the back row, let it go. Laughs in the distance, I don't join an invisible boy with a forced grin. But late at night on my bedroom floor, I felt something I felt before. When the world went silent and my heart felt violent, you were still right there, though I was unaware. Through the tears I couldn't fight, through the endless foster nights, you were writing hope in the pain, whispering my name again. Psalm 139 says you know, everywhere I hide, everywhere I go. Count my days, count my tears, stay real close when no one's near. If you see what no one sees, then you saw the road with me. Maybe I was never alone, maybe heaven was my home. When the world went silent, you were never silent. In the dark you stayed, even when I was afraid. I'm not just a broken boy, I'm still held in holy joy. You were there, you never moved, even when I had no proof. 9 years old, didn't understand. Hold on in my small hand, on it. New house, new rules, same coaster. Trash bag clothes like I don't care. They say be grateful, I bite my tongue. 9 years old but I feel undone. Family photo frames on the wall, I don't exist in them at all. Homework done in the corner seat, trying to make myself discreet. Every mirror asks my name, every silence sounds the same. If I'm forgotten here below, is this somewhere that I'm known? You say I'm written on your head, not erased by shifting sands. Carved in scars that prove my worth before I ever walk this earth. If you mark my name in grace, then I am seen, I have a place. I'm not abandoned, not alone. In your heart I'm fully known. Genesis said you see the tears, Elroy through the hidden years. Psalm 39, every line says you were there before my time. Counted days I haven't lived, Healing I don't have to give. Maybe pain don't get last word. Maybe hope is finally heard. Hands stretched wide on a rugged tree. Love that bled just to find me. If I'm engraved inside your poems, then I'm safe inside your arms. I'm written on your hand, held inside your plans. Even when I can't understand, you never let me slip like sand. I'm not invisible anymore. You opened up a different door. I'm not abandoned, not alone. In your heart I'm fully known. In your heart I'm fully known. Yeah. Locker slam like thunder cracks. I keep my head low, backpack straps. Walk these halls like I'm see-through glass. Nobody slows, they just walk past. Laughs echo, I fake a grin. Outside loud but quiet within. Lunchroom table, empty chair. It's like I'm breathing thinner air. Every shadow knows my name. Every whisper feeds a shame. But if you count each falling tear, then maybe you are standing here. I'm just a hallway ghost, but you see me the most. When the world looks through my face, you call me chosen, called by grace. No, I'm not lost in the crowd. Heaven says my name out loud. I was never just a blur. You say I'm yours, that's who I am, for sure. Foster forms and government pay, boxes check that fade away, but you wrote me in your book. Every chapter, every look, Isaiah says you called my name on your hands, I'm not ashamed. If the cross is proof enough, then I don't need their love. You knew me before my first breath. Through every hallway, step by step. If I'm unseen by humid eyes, I'm spotlighted in pair. I'm not a hallway ghost, not anymore. You see me the most when doors are closed. When the world looks through my face, you wrap me up in grace. Heaven says my name out loud. I'm a child of God, I'm standing proud. From orphan to adopted, from broken to wanted, from silence to promise, from empty to honest. You found me in the quiet place and filled it with amazing grace. I'm not invisible, no. I don't have to bow to the lies that told me less. I'm covered in your righteousness. No, I'm not lost in the crowd. Heaven says my name out loud. I was never just a good. Jesus, I know I am in you for
Got a box under my bed full of pages I wrote. Every line that I choked when I needed hope. Dear mom, dear dad, then the ink runs thin. 9 years old, trying to process it. Car crash, headline, blue like rain. I still hear sirens inside my brain. Everybody said be strong, be brave, but I just wanted the ones I couldn't save. If heaven has a mailbox somewhere, I hope these prayers are getting there. Every tear that stains these sheets, you count them when I fall asleep. These are letters I never sent, full of questions, heaven bent. But Jesus, you read every line, every broken word of mine. When I didn't understand, you were holding my shaking hands. I thought I lost my family then, but you became my closest friend. Foster house number 3, different rules, different faces, different schools. Smile for the caseworker, say I'm fine, but nobody reads between the lines. Payment cleared on the 1st of the month. Love feels rented, cold and blunt, but Psalm 39 says you see every hidden part of me. You knew my story before page 1, before the crash, before the sun, before the tears fell down my face. You had already made a place. These are letters I never sent, all my doubt, all my lament. But Jesus, you read every line, and you answer back in time. When I didn't understand, you were writing better plans. I thought I lost my family then, but you became my closest friend. God who sees like, hey, God knew El Roy, I'm seen by you. In every house, in every room, you're the light inside the gloom. I'm not abandoned, not alone. You call my heart your home. No more letters left unsaid, I lift them up instead. You turned my morning into song. You were with me all along. What was ripped out of my head, you restored with better plans. I thought I lost my family then, but Jesus, you stepped in. So I fold these pages close, 'cause now I know what I didn't know. Even when my world was bent, you read the letters I never sent. Cardboard boxes, black trash bag, life packed up in 10-minute drags. New street, new keys, new last name. Same old age, just different frame. Temporary bed, temporary rules, temporary kindness after school. They say make yourself at home, but I know I'm gone when the next check don't show. I learned how not to get attached, how to disappear, how to detach. Smile small, keep my head down low. Don't plant roots where you can't grow. But even when the address changed, and every door it felt so strange, there was a voice that stayed the same, calling softly through my pain. These are temporary houses, but you're my permanent home. Every hallway full of doubt, still I'm never alone. You walk with me through every door, through every closing scene. Jesus, you're the only place that's ever steady for me. House number 4 had painted walls, but love felt thin in empty halls. Dinner table, no one prayed, just silent forks and debts unpaid. I'd whisper verses under breath, Psalm 23 in the dark at rest. Even in this shadow place, you prepare a table by grace. I stopped expecting them to stay, stopped believing words they say, but faith was building brick by brick on promises that never shift. Oh, when everything was packed away, you were the one who chose to stay. No contract signed, no payment due, just covenant love that carried me through. These are temporary houses, but you're my permanent home. but heaven saw a son in me. Walls may shift and roofs may fall, but you outlast them all. You outlast them all. No more fear of moving on, 'cause my foundation's strong. Every road and every mile, you've been there all along. If this house fades like yesterday, your love will never roam. Jesus, you're my forever place, my unshakable home. Boxes packed but hearts secure, your promises endure. Oh, temporary houses fall apart, but you live in my heart.
Back row seat, hoodie pulled tight. Hallway noise, but I'm out of sight. Teachers call names, skip past mine, like I'm a ghost in a crowded line. Lunch tray clatter, nobody cares. Empty chair, but I'm still there. They laugh loud, I fade away. Invisible kid in the light of day. At home it's quiet, TV glow. Foster parents, don't really know. I learned to shrink, I learned to hide. Keep every question locked aside, but late at night when the world goes dim, I whisper prayers like broken hymns. If I disappear in every room, do you still see me in the gloom? If I'm forgotten by the crowd, do you still call my name out loud? You see me in the shadows, you know me by my name. Every tear that falls unseen, you count them just the same. When I feel erased and small, like I don't belong at all, Jesus, in the darkest places, you're the light that calls. Psalm 39 says you search me, know my heart completely. Before a word is on my tongue, you already know me deeply. I ain't a number on a file, a case. It stays a little while, you for me in the hidden place. Wrote purpose on my face, Genesis 16. She ran away, thought nobody saw her pain, but you were Elroy in the desert sand. Same God, same steady hand. So if you saw her by that well, you see this kid nobody tells. Even when I blend with walls, even when my courage falls, there's a voice that breaks the light, saying, child, you're mine. You see me in the shadows, you know me by my name. Every silent lonely night, you sit beside my pain. When I feel erased and small, like I don't belong at all, Jesus, in the darkest places, you're the light that calls. They don't know the battles in my head, the words I wish were never said, but you trace every hidden scar and tell me who I really are. Not abandoned, not alone, I am chosen, I am shown. Even if the world looks through me, heaven's eyes are on me. I am seen, I am known, I am never walking alone. You see me in the shadows, and you refuse to let me fade. You lift my head, you call me son. You say I'm not afraid. Now I'm stepping from the dark with your fire in my soul. Jesus, in the hidden places, you were making me whole. You were making me whole.
Back row seat, but heart on fire. You saw me there, you pulled me higher. Invisible, no more I stand. Known forever by your hand. Yeah.
Cafeteria noise, trays sliding by. I sit alone, don't ask me why. Seat across stays empty still, like nobody ever will. Laughter bouncing off the walls, my name never gets called. Group chats buzzing in their phones, I scroll silence on my own. Weekend plans, I'm not invited. Conversations unrequited. Learn to act like I don't care, like I chose this empty chair, but deep inside it cuts the same. Different day, familiar pain. If no one saves a seat for me, if no one says come sit and eat, is there a place where I belong? Is there a voice that calls me strong? You set a table for one, right in the presence of my doubt. When I thought I was alone, you were already reaching out. In the middle of the crowd, when I felt invisible, Jesus, you pulled up a chair and called my heart your home.
Psalm 23, I read it slow. You prepare a table so
Even in my enemy's sight, you feed my soul in broad daylight. Not just bread, but peace inside. A place where I don't have to hide. No audition, no disguise. You look straight into my eyes. Yeah. Foster house, long dinner grace, but love felt missing from that place. Still I bow my head and pray for strength to make it through the day. And somehow in that quiet room, your presence broke the gloom. Even if they pass me by, even if they don't ask why, there's a seat that bears my name, carved in mercy, carved in flame. You set a table for one in the middle of my storm, where rejection tried to win. You kept my spirit warm in the silence of my tears. When I felt invisible, Jesus, you pulled up a chair and called my heart your home. Not a guest, not temporary, not a burden they must carry. I'm a son at heaven's feast, shame released and fear decreased. Cup runs over, grace poured out. Even here inside my doubt, you don't just save a seat for me, you say, son, come eat with me. I belong, at your table all alone. You set a table for one, but now I see it's more. A banquet in the wilderness, an open mercy door. Even if the world forgets or leaves me out alone, Jesus, at your table I have always been known. Empty chair, don't scare me now. You show me how I was never on my own. You made my lonely heart your home.
brown envelope with my whole life inside. Staple pages they classify. Date of birth and the crash report. Psych evil from the family court. Strengths and risks on a checklist line. Like my heart fits in size 12 times. They read my story in bullet points. Never heal where the pain unknowns. Adjustment issues, trust is low. Guarded child, yeah, that's for sure. They flip the page and close the case, but never look me in the face. To them I'm paperwork and ink, but God sees deeper than they think. Before the file was ever made, before the word that they displayed, you wrote my name in heaven's book, not overlooked. I'm not a K-file kid, not a number on a list. Heaven knows my heartbeat and every tear I ever miss. social worker at the door, or new placement, house number 4. They talk about me like I'm not there, like I'm a problem they must repair. But some note they not still stands, yeah. You knit my life with careful hands, fearfully and wonderfully made. Not a mistake, the time betrayed. Isaiah 49 says my name is engraved and scarred. Hands of flame, not erased when system fail. Not lost when support turns frail, yeah. They see a file that's paper thin, but heaven sees the sun within. They can label what they see, but they don't know eternity. You define my destiny before they ever wrote on me. I'm not a case file kid, not a number they sign. I am chosen, I am called. Your purpose over mine. When the world reduces me to margins and to trends, Jesus, you remind me my story never ends. Stamp, design, transferred again, but grace keeps covering my sin. Not defined by where I've been or what's recorded in a pen. Your spirit speaks a better word, louder than the lies I heard. Beloved son, you're not misplaced. You are covered, you are graced. No more shame, no more fear. Your voice is the only one I hear. I'm not a case file kid, I'm a child of the King. Not a statistic fading out, but a voice that's gonna sing. What they meant is just a record you turned into a plan. Jesus, you rewrote my future with your wounded hand. Close the file, seal the lid. Heaven never misread this kid. Not paperwork, not defined. I'm forever yours, sign and sign. Yeah. Lights out, house quiet, ceiling fan hum. Shadows on the wall when the nighttime comes. Thoughts get loud when the world goes still. Memories hit like they always will. Crash, replay in the midnight loop. Blue lights flashing through the roof. I was just a kid in the backseat then. Now I fight that scene again and again. They say time heals but it don't erase you. The way fear settles in a place. Heart beats fast in the dark alone, like silence has a heavier tone. But underneath the panic spark, there's another voice in the dark. When fear's shouting in my head and I'm hanging by a thread, there's a whisper breaking through, soft but strong and true. You whisper in the dark when my faith feels small, when the night is heavy and the shadows fall. You don't shout above the storm, you speak peace to my heart. Jesus, in the silence I hear you in the dark. Yeah. Foster room with a different bed. Same old battles in my head. Anxiety knocking at 2 a.m. like it's trying to move back in. But Psalm 34:18 says you're close when the broken are stressed, near to the crushed in spirit and pain. You don't run when the tears fall like rain. I used to think real strength was loud, never crying, standing proud. But strength is whispering your name when nothing outward seems to change. It's trusting you inside is gone, believing I won't last too long. Even when I shake inside, even when I wanna hide, your gentle voice cuts through the lies, telling me alright. You whisper in the dark when my faith feels thin, when the doubts are circling, trying to pull me in. You don't leave me where I am, you call me to restart. Jesus, in the silence I hear you
lights out, but hope's awake. Your mercy's stronger than my mistakes. And every shadow, every spark, you're still whispering in the dark. Another meeting, plastic chair, people talking like I'm not there. Placement review, behavior chart, like they can measure a broken heart. Clipboards, policies, ticking clocks, life reduced to paper stacks. They say the system's doing its best, but it never saw inside my chest. Bounce around like a fall in motion, learning how to hide emotion. Trust gets thin when love's on lease, hard to believe in lasting peace. But even in institutional halls, I heard a higher calling call. They can build walls tall and wide, but they can't touch what's deep inside. There's a truth no form can bend, a love that doesn't end. I'm stronger than the system, stronger than the fall. Not because I fixed myself, but cause you held it all. Or try to label breaking bind, couldn't steal your plan. Jesus, I'm still standing, cause you're the great I am. They saw statistics, trends and charts, didn't see revival in my heart. Didn't see the late night prayers or the way you met me there. Romans 8 says more than a conqueror, not just surviving but stronger. Through him who loves me, that's the truth. Even when they doubted you, system said air risking red, heaven said anointed instead. System said likely to fail, heaven said my grace prevails. I'm not defined by where I've been, but by the cross that covers sin. What they couldn't understand was the scar in your hands that rewrote my destiny, set a captive free. And I'm stronger than the system, stronger than the pain. Every door that's shut on me, you opened up again. We'll try to label breaking bind, couldn't steal your plan. Jesus, I'm still standing, held by your right hand. Oh, oh, oh. Held by your right hand. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, not angry, not bitter now. You taught my heart out to forgive what hurt so deep. Trust the promises you keep. They were human, they were flawed, but I was always seen by God. You turned what tried to box me in into the place my faith begins. More than a conqueror, more than my past, your love is the only thing that's built to last. I'm stronger than the system, stronger than my fear. Every scar that marked my story proves that you were here. We'll try to label breaking bind, couldn't steal your plan. Jesus, I'm still standing, forever in your hand. They closed the file, thought it was done, but heaven had just begun. Not just surviving every plan, I'm rising, stronger than the system can. Stronger in your hands. Mirror on the wall, cracked glass frame, trying to figure out who I became. Different houses, different last names, different rules, same old pain. I used to trace the lines on my face, wonder if I even had a place in a world that moves too fast, like I'm a shadow of my past. Kids at school with family trees, roots so deep like summer leaves. Mine felt cut like a broken half, like I was living in the aftermath. But Isaiah 49 hit different one night when I read it under dim light. I have engraved you on my hands, not erased by shifting sands, not forgotten when life caves in. Your name is written in my skin. I'm engraved in your hands, not a mistake, not an accident.
was by dotted lines, but they can't outright your grace or take away my place. You saw me in the crash that night. You saw the fear behind my eyes. You saw the homes that didn't last. Still you held me fast. Genesis 16, she felt unseen, running from what hurt so deep. But you met it by that well. Called her by name, broke the spell. Seen God, same steady flame, calling me by my real name. Before the world could label me, you spoke identity. Before I learned to hide my heart, you loved me from the start. I'm engraved in your hands, not a file that fades away, not a story left behind or a tie you tear me. I'm engraved in your hands, not a file that fades away, not a story left behind or a child you'll trade when I question who I am or that's your plan. Jesus, you remind me I'm egged in your hands. Not temporary, not misplaced, not just surviving by your grace, but chosen, called, set apart. Your name beating in my heart, those nail scar marks testify. Love went far enough to die, so I could stand and understand. I'm forever in your hands. No eraser, no regret, no forgetting who you met. I'm engraved in your hands. Before my first breath was drawn, through every tear and broken year, you were holding on. Now I walk with lifted head because I understand Jesus. Jesus, my identity is engraved in your hands. Mirror don't define my worth. Heaven called me from my birth. Not abandoned, not amended. I'm forever engraved in your hands.
Courtroom echo heavier, judge's voice but no one there. For me the way my parents were, just signatures and legal words. Different kind of adoption story, mine came wrapped in pain, not glory. But late one night I read Romans 8, and everything began to change. Spirit of fear, that's what I knew, but spirit of adoption too. Abba Father that hit deep, like a promised man for me. Not just tolerated, not just placed, but fully chosen, held by grace. You didn't sign a paper line, you sealed my heart with love divine. No temporary state, you said son you're here to stay. I've been adopted by grace, called by a heavenly name. Not just surviving this life, but claim. Pick me up from the wreckage, give me a home in your embrace. I may have lost my earthly place, but I've been adopted by grace. Foster homes came and went, but your love was permanent. Not paid monthly, not a fee, you gave your life to rescue me. Galatians says I'm now a son, through Christ the battle's won. Here with him, that's who I am, written in redemption's plan. They saw a kid with baggage packed, but heaven saw what I lack and filled it with the Father's heart. A brand new identity start, no longer orphaned by the fall. I belong above it all. No more fear of being replaced, no more living half embraced. Your spirit speaks inside my chest, you are mine forever blessed. I've been adopted by grace, given a permanent home. Not just a guest at the table, but bone of his bone. When loneliness tries to trace old wounds I can't erase, I remember who I am. Adopted by grace. Not a backup plan, not a second choice. You silent shame with a louder voice. Not a charity case in need, but a son who's been set free from the lie that I'm alone, from the fear of unknown. You placed your spirit in my heart, said we'll never be apart. Abba Father, I am yours. Your love is my open door. I've been adopted by grace, I've been adopted by grace. My heavenly grace, oh, you and me made. I'm surviving this life. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And I've been
No courtroom can redefine what heaven settled in my mind. Lost on earth, but heaven's case forever adopted by grace.
Birthdays came, birthdays went. No candles lit, no money spent. Just another day on the calendar page, another quiet shift of age. I used to wonder if heaven knew time still mattered there too. If anyone marked the day I cried when both my parents died, yeah. Photos faded, memories blurred, voices softer than they were. False, the walls don't hold the past. Everything moves way too fast, but deep inside a question stays. Am I remembered or just misplaced? If the world moves on so quick and I'm just another statistic, do you still see every tear? Do you still count every year? I am not forgotten, not lost in the crowd. Yeah, Isaiah 49 still speaks, even when my faith feels weak. Can a mother forget her child? Sometimes life feels that wild, but I will not forget you. That promise carried me through, engraved in hands, scarred for me. That's eternal memory. System moves to the next case, but grace don't misplace. You knew my laugh before it formed, knew my heart before the storm. Psalm 39, line by line, says my days were always thine. Even when I feel erased, even when I feel replaced, there's a truth I can't outrun. I am still your son. I'm not forgotten, not a face that fades, not a chapter closed too soon, or a debt unpaid. Every silent night, every lonely thought, Jesus in your presence, I am not forgotten. They might lose track, lose my file, yeah. Forget my name after a while, yeah. But heaven's record never fails, love beyond the paper trails, yeah. You marked the moment I first breathed. You marked the night I grieved. And every step since then, you've written me again, yeah, yeah. Known by name, held by grace. Time can't steal my place. I am not forgotten, not unseen or small. Your mercy keeps on chasing me through every rise and fall. Even when the world forgets and memories seem shy, Jesus in your presence, I am not forgotten. No candle in no crowd applauding, still heaven whisper not forgotten. Through every lost and broken plot, I stand redeemed, not forgotten. Yeah, used to walk these streets alone, headphones and heart turned stone. Backpack, heavy eyes on ground, trying not to make a sound. Every step felt unsure, like nothing in life was secure. Different houses, different keys, different nights on different knees. But something changed inside my stride when I let you walk beside. Didn't fix it overnight, but I could feel the shift in light. Not invisible anymore, you
opened up a different door. You didn't promise easy roads, but you said you share the load. Through every valley, every view, I'm not alone, I'm walking with you. Now I'm walking with you, through the highs and lows, through the questions I still carry, and the healing that grows. Every scar, every bruise, every broken truth, I don't face it by myself, I'm walking with you. Yeah, yeah. School hall still out sometimes, still fighting battles in my mind, but fear don't run the show no more. It's knocking at a locked door. Psalm 23 in every stride, even when I feel inside like the valley's dark and deep. You got my soul, my heart you keep. Not perfect, I still fall, still have nights I feel small, but grace don't quit on me. Your mercy walks faithfully, not a foster place to stay, but a forever kind of way. Step by step, day by day, even when I lose my way, you don't leave, you don't move, you just say, keep walking through. I'm walking with you, through the fire and rain, through the flashbacks and the fear, through the healing of pain, every doubt that tries to speak, every voice untrue, I don't face it by myself, I'm walking with you, I'm walking with you. Genesis, desert, Hagar cried, thought she was alone outside, but you saw her, you came through. Same God, I've seen it too. In foster homes and courtrooms, cold and nights when I felt too old, you were there in every room, turning ashes into bloom. Not ahead where I can't see, not behind too far from me, right beside through it all. You catch me when I fall, I'm walking with you, and I'm finally free, not chained to what happened or who they said I'd be. From invisible boy to redeemed and renewed, I'm not just surviving life, I'm walking with you. Step still forward, face still true, different path, same view, no matter where this road goes through, I'm walking with you, walking with you, walking with you, you. Yeah, used to fade when I walked in the room, hood up high like a human cocoon, back row seat, eyes on the floor, didn't think I mattered anymore. Then got lost in the roll call line, heartbeat quiet, out of time. Invisible kid, that's what I knew. Took grace, stepped in and split the view. Crack survivor, foster file, pain stretched out my mile by mile, but every scar that tried to brand couldn't outride heaven's hand. I was weak, but you were strong, you were riding all along. Yeah, what the world couldn't see in me, you saw eternally, not just who I used to be, but who I'm meant to be. From invisible to invincible, not by power of my own, but by the love that carried me when I felt alone. Every lie that said I'd fall, every voice untrue, Jesus, you turn my broken into breakthrough. Yeah, Romans 8:30, save it clear. More than conqueror right here, not just barely getting through, but standing tall because of you. They predicted I give in, let the anger win, but mercy built a different frame. Redemption over shame, foster homes and empty halls didn't cancel heaven's call. System said I might not rise, grace that watched me redefine. Not the kid they pitied then, but a son reborn again. Yeah, I don't hide in shadows now, I lift my head, I stand somehow, not because the past is small, but because you held it all. Invisible to invincible, if you don't know my name, every tear that shaped my life now fuels the flame. What was meant to break my heart, you used to make me new. Jesus, now frontline faith. Grace rewrote what pain dictated. Invisible, no more I stand. Invincible in your hands.
Used to flinch when I heard my name, like it always came with blame. Problem child, attitude, labels stuck like permanent glue. Every hallway echo felt like judgment stacked and dealt. I wore those words like they were truth, till I heard a different voice break through. Not loud, not harsh, not cold, but steady, strong and bold. Through the noise of who I've been came a whisper cutting in. Not case, not burden, not mistake, not too much or heartache. Over all the doubt and fear, I heard it crystal clear. He calls me son, not abandoned, not undone. In the middle of my mess, he says I'm chosen one. When the world says I don't belong, or that I've run too far, he calls me son. That's who I are. Romans 8 said it plain, no more slave to fear or shame. Spirit of adoption deep, Abba Father when I weep. Not temporary love on lease, not affection that might cease, but covenant carved in grace, a forever kind of place. Courtroom signed adoption papers, but heaven wrote it greater. Not ink that fades with time, but sealed in blood divine. Even when I doubt inside, you don't revoke, you don't divide. Every scar that shaped my past didn't disqualify at last. Your mercy overruled every lie I believed as rule. He calls me son, not defined by what I've done, not by crash or foster home, or battles I've outrun. When my past tries to return and reopen every scar, he calls me son. That's who I am. Not a backup plan, not second string, not barely in the family ring, but seated at the table near, with no expiration year. He didn't save me just to leave, didn't rescue to deceive. He brought me in, he made it known. His house, his name, his throne. I am yours, you are mine. Love that stands through space and time. He calls me son, and that changes everything. From invisible and lost to heir of the king. When the world forgets my face or questions who I become, I stand secure in grace. He calls me son. Different houses came and gone, but this identity stays strong. Not a title I outrun, forever called his son. Yeah, got scars I don't always show, some from years ago, some from words that cut too deep, some from nights I couldn't sleep. Crash scene burned into my brain, Foster moves the quiet pain. Learn to act like I'm okay while carrying yesterday. They see the smile, not the fight. They see the now, not the night. But every mark that shaped my skin has a deeper place within. Used to wish they disappear. Now I see you brought me here. What I thought would break my frame, you used to carve your name in every wound, in every scar. You show me who you are. This is my scar story, written by your grace. Every broken chapter you refuse to waste. What was meant to end me became my testimony. Jesus, you turned my pain into your glory.
Romans 8 still echo loud. More than conqueror through the cloud. Not untouched but undefeated, not abandoned but completed. You didn't erase the past, you redeemed it at last. Didn't hide the wounds away, you lit them up to say, look what mercy can restore, look what I can use for more. Now when I speak it's not a shame, it's power in his name. From invisible to live, not just barely survive, but walking proof that love can win when God steps in. Every scar has a sound of redemption breaking ground. Every tear that hit the floor built me stronger than before. Built me stronger than before.
This is my scar story, not something I conceal. It's evidence of mercy and how your love is real. What was meant to silence me now declares your glory. Jesus, you turned my pain into a scar story. Yeah, scar story. Nah, scarred hands, you understand. You know what it is to stand rejected, beaten, left alone. Still you claim me as your own. So when I look at what I've been through, I see reflections back to you. Not just survival, not just breathe, but resurrection after death. Scars don't shame me, they proclaim the victory in Jesus' name. This is my scar story, shining in the light. Every dark and broken place now burning bright. What the enemy meant for harm, you rewrote for glory. Jesus, you turned my pain into my scar story. Not hiding what shaped me, not ashamed of what made me. Every mark now speaks for me. Rewrote my story. Not hiding what shaped me, not ashamed of what made me. Every mark now speaks for me. They said odds were stacked too high. Stat sheet said I wouldn't rise. Single digit chance to win, given where I started in. Crash survivor, foster care, broken home and empty stare. On paper I was set to fall, another headline, that was all. But heaven doesn't read reports, doesn't judge by human courts. You saw more than what they saw, purpose written in the flaw. Every setback, every bend was training ground in your hand. When the weight was on my chest and I felt less than the rest, you were whispering through the fire, chalk it up, go higher. Still I rise through the ashes of my past. Still I rise, held by love that lasts. Every tear that tried to drown, every voice that said stay down. Jesus, by your power, still I rise. Romans 8 says conqueror, not defeated wanderer. Through him who loves me strong, that's the reason I hold on. I've seen nights that felt too long, heard my own defeated song. But mercy hit the replay and rewrote what I would say. System tried to box me in, label where I've always been, but you broke the ceiling wide, placed your spirit deep inside. Now the kid they counted out is lifting hands in worship loud. Not because I never fell, but because you caught me well. Not because the pain was small, but because you held it all. Still I rise through the valleys deep and wide. Still I rise with my Savior at my side. Every scar that marks my frame now declares your holy name. Jesus, by your power.
'cause you rose and gave me life.
Still I rise, not alone, not ashamed. Still I rise, by the power of your name. From invisible to free, from broken to alive. Jesus through it all. Still I rise. I said no, grace said yes. From a mess to bliss, not just barely getting by. Saved, restored, still I rise. Used to think I slipped through cracks. Another kid with a backpack. Moving school, moving streets. Different faces every week. Attend the sheet, they say my name, but it never felt the same. Just a sound, just a mark. Echo fading in the dark. But you don't call me randomly. You speak with eternity. Before I learned to speak it all, you already knew my call. Psalm worthy, not line by line. Says every thought of mine is done. Before the crash, before the pain, before the foster home and rain, before I learned to hide my flame, you knew my name. I am known by name, not just another face, not a shadow in the system or a kid out of place. When the world forgets my story or treats me all the same, Jesus, you look at me and call me by name. Yeah, Genesis desert, Hagar cried. Thought she'd been cast aside, but you met her in the sand. Spoke, hoping to her hand. Elroy, the God who sees, that same God sees me in every room, in every hall. You never miss the fall. They see a profile hiding age. You see the purpose on the page. They see behavior, grades, and trends. You see where my future bends. Not overlooked, not passed by. Heaven hears me when I cry. Even when I doubt my worth, or question why I'm here on earth, there's a truth that still remains. You call my name. I am known by name, engraved upon your hand, not forgotten in the crowd, or drifting like the sand. Every tear, every flame, every loss I face, Jesus, you don't generalize, you know my name. Not here, not next in line, but identity divine. Not a label stuck on me, but who you say I'll be, you didn't save a faceless one. You rescued the sun from invisible and unsure to confident and secure. You know me, you see me, you chose me, you keep me. I am known by name, called out of the night, from invisible and broken into living light. No matter where I go or what I overcame, Jesus, I stand redeemed, known by name. Different houses, different claims, but only one who truly names. Not random, not the same, forever known by name. Started as a kid in the back of the class, head down low, hoping time would pass. Invisible boy, that's what they saw. Quiet kid with a broken core. Crash survivor, foster care. Empty birthdays, plastic chairs. Felt like a shadow in every room, like I was born to fade too soon. But every step through every storm, you were there when my world was torn. Every tear that hit the floor, you were building something more. Didn't see it way back then, but now I see where you've been. Through every valley, every fall, you were riding through it all. What I thought was the enemy was shaping destiny. Now I'm visible, standing in your light, not defined by what I lost, but by the cross and life. From invisible and small, Jesus,
Psalm 23 through darkest days, you walk me through the shadow maze. Romans 8 declared it loud, more than conquer through the cloud. Isaiah said I'm engraved, even when I felt misplaced. Genesis showed the God who sees was standing right here with me. Yeah, system tried to mark my end, but grace rewrote it again. From broken fire to living proof, from shaking faith to rooted truth. Not perfect, still I grow, but now I know what I know.
Invisible, don't live here now. You changed my heart, you showed me how to walk in truth, to walk in grace, to see reflection in your face. Not the boy who felt erased, but the son your mercy embraced. From background noise to worship sound, from lost to found, I am seen, I am known, I am yours alone. Now I'm visible, shining in your light. Not because I earned my place, but because you fought my fight. From invisible and afraid to faithful and unstoppable. Jesus, forever in your love. I am visible, I am visible. Back row kid, now front row fade. Every step I mercy trade. What I thought was impossible, you made me visible.